HDK Artwork, and in today's video, I'll be unboxing Paletteful Packs August subscription box. This video is not sponsored by Paletteful Packs. I buy this subscription with my own money, and I'll be giving you my honest review on each product inside. So let's get straight into it. The first thing I'm picking up in here is this Daniel Smith Refined Linseed Oil. Linseed oil is an oil painting medium that can also be used for blending oil pastels. Although the oil has a tint of yellow, it should not affect the colors of your oil pastels. The more oil you add, the longer it will take for your artwork to dry. This Daniel Smith Refined Linseed Oil retails for $9.16. Next up, we have this Mixed Media Art Spray. You can use this art spray on paper, wood, leather, and fabric. The medium is blendable and does not reactivate once it's dry, allowing you to apply multiple layers and textures to your piece. You can also apply paint and oil pastels over top the art spray. This Marabou art spray retails for $5.99. Next up, we have these Faber-Castell oil pastels. And it comes in this adorable case, so it would be perfect for on the go. So we got a nice array of colors here. I have definitely heard of Faber-Castell, and I know that they have a really good report card, so we'll see if they live up to that. These oil pastels are very blendable, and you can even rub two colors together to create a new color. This Faber-Castell oil pastel set of 12 retails for $4.26, which seems very reasonable for the amount of oil pastels you are getting. Of course, we got our adorable Paletteful Packs sticker. To be honest with you, I don't really know what this little guy is supposed to be. It looks a little bit like a shampoo bottle, which I know is not supposed to be a shampoo bottle, but that's what it looks like to me. Next up, we have these Sharpie peel-off China markers. We have one in black, red, and white. These China markers are a soft crayon-like pencil-style marker. As the marker wears down, you simply pull the string back on the paper to reveal more of the marker. Great for adding highlights to your oil pastel drawings and will not blend even with linseed oil. These China markers retail for $1.40 each. Next up, we have this 3-pack of some mystery medium. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna have to open it. Okay, it looks like crayons. Apparently, these 3 little crayon-looking things are a bonus item, which we have never gotten here on the channel in a Paletteful Packs box, so that's exciting. They are called Crayon de Ache Neocolor, and these are wax pastels that are water-resistant and have superior covering power. The one thing that's going to be kind of tricky is it doesn't really go with the color theme I was having in my head after seeing all this red and black and white, but we'll make it work. Next up, we have these Stumps. These are just your typical blenders. I call them blenders. I've never heard them being called Stumps before, but everyone could use some blenders. Blenders come in handy all the time. I never thought to use them for oil pastels, so that is interesting, and I will definitely be trying that out today. Excellent for blending and smoothing pastels, charcoal, graphite, and any other dry media. If needed, they could be sharpened using an abrasive surface such as sandpaper. These 2 blenders retail for $3.19. Next up, we have this sandpaper sharpener. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we have this sandpaper sharpener, which is perfect for these blenders. Excellent for sharpening charcoal, blending stumps, crayons, pastels, pencils, and tortillons. There are 12 sheets of medium grit sandpaper attached to this pressboard paddle. This sandpaper block retails for $2.59. Next up, of course, as usual, we have our Princeton Select brush in the number 6 flat shader. This can be used with the linseed oil to blend the oil pastels. Never can go wrong with an extra paintbrush, and this paintbrush retails for $5.85. Next up, we have this MDF panel 8x10. designed for painting, mounting, and mixed media. This hard panel board retails for $3.79. And last but not least, we have this huge Stonehenge white paper. This is a 100% cotton rag, acid-free heavyweight paper. It is made in the USA and offers a smooth surface for a variety of media. This Stonehenge Paper Pad 9x12 with 15 sheets retails for $25.59. As usual, there are 4 Paletteful Pack prompts to choose from for the month of August. Prompt number 1, portrait. Prompt number 2, fire. Prompt number 3, hat. And prompt number 4, reading. The grand total for Paletteful Pack's August subscription box is $64.62. Without further ado, let's get straight into the drawing. I'm back. It's the next day, and here's what the finished piece looks like. As always, I used every single product in my piece, which was a little bit difficult, believe it or not, because I had so many different colors in here. And though it looks like I only used warm colors, I promise there are all the colors in there. I just used the warm colors on top. Let's get straight into the review. First up, this hardboard. It didn't have much use for this particular piece because the paper they provided was bigger than the board, so I couldn't really use the board as a backing. I did use it as a sharp edge when I was using the art spray, which came in handy, but you could also just use a piece of paper for that. You definitely do not need to get a board for that. I did find it a little bit weird that they included this just because it's much smaller than the piece of paper and you definitely can't use it as a backing, but I did find a way to use it because that's part of the challenge, so I did use the edge. Next up, we have this Stonehenge Paper Pad. So this paper I'm really impressed with. It is pretty thick. It's not the thickest paper we've gotten in one of these boxes, but it's pretty nice and can definitely handle some liquid products. The spray worked beautifully and there wasn't too much warping. I'm really glad to have gotten one of these because you can never go wrong with extra papers. I use papers all the time and it's nice to not have to go out and buy some more. I just keep getting them in my boxes. All right, next up we have this mixed media art spray. Now this is pretty freaking cool. I've never heard of this brand or even this product before, but I thought it was really fun to just kind of go wild and spray down your paper. And for me personally, I like to have a lot of control with my products, so it was nice to kind of let loose and let the spray do all the work. But yeah, I'm really happy with this product and I will definitely be using it in the future. Next up, let's talk about the main event of the subscription box, these Faber-Castell oil pastels. I have a little bit of experience with oil pastels, but nothing too crazy. And from what I remember, these are pretty up to par with the other oil pastels that I've tried in the past. They're creamy, blendable, and you can layer them. The one issue I have with oil pastels is that there comes to a point where you can't keep blending layers and it starts to get pilly. And I've never tried an oil pastel that hasn't done that, but I will say that these did do that quite a bit. But other than that, I'm really happy to have this little kit because it is perfect for on the go and I just love the little case it comes in. It's super easy and clean and it's just a nice little kit. Next up, let's talk about these Sharpie peel off China markers. These are definitely very interesting. If I had to describe them, I would describe them as very waxy but oily, if that makes sense. They pick up any color that you are trying to go on top of, just to keep in mind. So I did have to keep trying to clean off the tip because it just kept picking up that color underneath it. Also, I noticed when you try to push hard on the marker, it really flattens down super easily, and it also cracked down the middle of my white marker. So that's something to keep in mind, that these are a little bit fragile. My final thoughts with these are they're useful to an extent. I definitely think these are not gonna be my go-to, but I'm glad to have tried them. Next up, let's talk about the Princeton Select Brush. Now, this is, like I say with all my other brushes, just your standard brush. There's nothing special about it. It's your standard square shading brush, and it did the job. Moving on, let's talk about these bonus items. Yes, these bonus items are also in the piece. They're hidden deep down underneath, but they are in there. Now these are really similar to crayons. They're just a little bit smoother and they are definitely more vibrant. These are, I believe, supposed to be neon colors because wow, they come out super neon. In conclusion, I will probably be using these again, but not all the time, obviously, because they're just such funky colors. But I'm glad that they included a bonus item. They've never done that before, and I hope they keep doing that. It's really fun. Next up, let's talk about these blenders and this blender sharpener. Now, these blenders are just like the blenders you've tried at home. Nothing special about them. They're just your ordinary blenders. They did the job, and I'm really happy to have some more on hand. In terms of the blender sharpener, or your sandpaper stick, whatever you want to call it, it definitely took off the product that was lying on the blender. Did it sharpen it? Not really. To be honest, it kind of made the tip extra flimsy. But if you're trying to get the product off of your blender to start clean, it does do that. So I will be using this again, but very gently because the tip does get a little bit floppy. And last but not least, we have our linseed oil. In terms of the oil pastel, this did the job. It definitely blended all the oil pastels. I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought everything was super smooth after I used this bad boy on it. So I'm glad to have this in my collection. In conclusion, I'm really happy with this box. I'm glad to have added oil pastels into my collection of art materials, and the price value was really nice this month. Comment down below what your favorite item was in this subscription box, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching!